Hi, welcome to Afterward. So this would be my first time recording this on my laptop. Uh, my phone is in the middle of whatever it's doing, updates and stuff. So I'm gonna tell you up front, I come in three flavors: real, raw, and ridiculous. And not every therapist is a healer, not every healer is a clinician, and not every clinician will minister to your soul. With all that being said, for those of you who just are like, I stumbled across this, what the hell is it? Hi, I go by Ari, and I own Tactful Disruption, which is a digital mental health coaching and consulting practice, and we address intersections. We would explain that to you, but the truth is, it's something you experience. So let's find out. Venus, love, passion. So, because Venus is over Taurus and Libra, we could be talking about stable partnerships. Are you developing a deeper relationship with your finances? Are you getting on top of your money game? Right? Are you discovering like what draws money to you? Right. That's about slow and steady. Taurus rules finances. Libra rules partnerships. Okay. Ooh, psyche. Okay, whatever I'm about to say, I just have to let the message come through. Okay, whenever my psyche card shows up, like shit just comes out my mouth. Not that I don't actually think about what I'm saying, because I do. I got like significant years of training and learning how like not to just say shit, but also I've got significant years in training of like, knowing when to say shit. Okay. What do I mean by that? I mean, okay, so I do have a master's in clinical mental health counseling, but I have a bachelor's in speech communications. I got 13 years in the United States military, and I built a business off of being able to persuade people that mental health in the workplace could be a good thing, right? For those who are experiencing some type of mood or personality disorder that uh, they can't necessarily, or they don't necessarily have the time to address, because it impacts them economically, which is interesting because I talked about Venus in the very beginning and how it rules Taurus as well as Libra, right? So we're talking about growing in harmony and growing in partnership, right? So I could potentially be talking to people who are just kind of like fed up with the work relationships that they have, but also understand that they need the income. But then it's like, dude, am I like having anxiety? Is this depression? Like, these people be pissing me off. Am I angry? What the fuck is this, right? I felt that for somebody, like, okay, here's the deal. We're not all over the world yet, right? But we will be one day, right? That's my goal. I don't know, like, I'm sure Steve Jobs was probably not talking to a camera and hoping that the people on the other side would resonate. But I mean, look at the fact that like Apple iPhones sell for a ridiculous amount of money, and they be lines around the block, right? But it's about having a vision, seeing it through, what have you, right? So why am I saying that? Because maybe you got something pressing in the back of your mind that you want to try, you want to do. It just feels good, right? It puts you in a different vibration. Okay, money is a very different energetic vibration, right? Healthy partnership is a very different vibration. So I'm also getting that, like, maybe you feel like when you don't have enough money, you're not worthy of certain things. Or maybe you're avoiding partnership because you feel like financially you're not ready. But if Venus rules both, maybe you need to get a partner on the team who can help you understand a little bit more about your financial situation, right? Sometimes, I love to say that, like, some of you may be fucking up and you don't secure the bag. Like, you be fumbling the bag, it'd be like a whole chick with money. She's a motherfucking money magnet, okay? And you're like, well, she gonna meet certain criteria, but it's like, but that bitch can get your money. I'm not calling people bitches, okay? I'm saying I don't know whose energy I'm tapping into, actually, so I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying what this person would probably be thinking, if that's you or if that's just kind of how you imagine things, all right? I personally don't really like those terms too much, but it is what it is. So I'm not sure if you just got this passion project that you're considering. Maybe it's a slow and steady type of deal, right? I mentioned like owning a business at one point, right? And like that takes time. Like, or maybe you're somebody who doesn't understand the financial piece of your business, right? Where you dive headfirst into things, you're passionate about a lot of stuff, and yet you really don't understand maybe like operating costs, right? Like, how much does that really cost, right? Like, not just in your time and energy, but like in raw materials. Okay, if the raw materials cost you, let's use an example, uh, say you make candles, right? The raw materials, like alone to create those candles, and that's first of all. I'm not talking. I'm just talking about the single candle item. I'm not talking about the actual like machine that you had to purchase. That's an investment if you do them at home yourself. I mean, if you're doing white label candles, that's its own type of deal, right? There's like shipping and handling, and then there's like, do you mark it up 3 times the retail value? Like, how are you going to get your money back, right? Like, what's the profit margin? Why am I saying this? Because some of you have never even had that conversation out loud, right? Some of you are offended when someone's like, so how much do you make from that? Why are you in my business? Are they in your business? Because business requires you to talk about money. It requires you to talk about the numbers, okay? Um, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, okay? Like it is until you grow comfortable, right? But that's also like, look at your relationship with money. What is your relationship with money like? Like what is your earliest memory with a dollar, okay? Ooh, I'm channeling something for somebody, okay? So this is real tonight. Um, that's something that like, you just have to sit down and explore. You say you want X, Y, and Z. It's easy to go get a home on a loan, but then it's like, when you actually calculate how much it's going to take you to pay that back, you also have to consider the other pieces that come with that. How long do you have to work that job? What other opportunities exist for you to grow in the amount of income you can command to maybe pay that off quicker, right? And then how much do you invest in that home to be so when you do get ready to move and you sell it, like you can get something back off of that, right? Some of you don't think about these things. It is not necessary to you. But some of you just keep it real with yourself. Being broke is against your religion. Like you don't like not having no money. It's uncomfortable. But then when you get it, you don't necessarily put it in the right spaces or places, right? Because you just have all these things that are attractive to you, right? But here's the deal. If everything else is attractive to you and your money, what is attractive about you for money, right? Like, are you attracting the money in? Because it's like, well, it doesn't matter what that's like. I don't want to say that. I don't like that message. I'm going to hold that off. If it flies out, it flies out. The Psyche card is here. So let's get to the rest of this message, okay? I love when that card comes out, to be honest, because it's like, I don't know what's about to happen. But I love it. I love what I do, guys. Okay. Woo, solar eclipse. I'm definitely talking about something that some of you, I'm highlighting some of you've been trying to have for a while. Okay, it's okay. It's more common than you think. Okay, like you're not gonna wake up and be a fucking financial guru tomorrow if you just learned about X, Y, and Z today. It happens. But if you make a plan and get committed to that plan, there is no reason that you can't come up out of that scenario or situation. Okay, I'm also getting that some of you didn't place too much emphasis on your financial situation because you were happy to be in a relationship, but the relationship was draining you financially. It was a financial drain on you. So something being highlighted is your emotional state, right? Your emotions sometimes kind of don't keep you in alignment with how to attract the right shit towards you and how to and I'm not saying that in a negative way, right? Like it happens, okay? Like it's more common of a story than you'd like to believe. But it happens, right? But anyways, it doesn't matter. Something's getting illuminated for you around partnerships and money at this time, okay? Okay, they threw these cards at me. All right, at the center of this reading, I have the waxing crescent moon. Okay, so something's coming up around both. Okay, you're whatever you're attracting in right now, it might be around partnership and money. Maybe a lot of like more money is going to come to you, but it's because you've actually figured out how to budget. You've actually learned how to put the money in the right buckets, and maybe more of the right type of partnership is coming in for you, right? Like because you have dealt with some of your own emotional thinking, right? And when I say emotional thinking, I mean just that. Okay, there's logical thinking and then there's emotional thinking. Emotional thinking can sometimes be rooted in, well, what is it about me that it's literally having emotional attachment to the thoughts, and the thoughts don't serve the bigger purpose, right? They keep you in a particular vibration. and it's charged by emotion, right? So like you can cry on cue. You like you go so deep into these emotions, like it can hurt a little bit or a lot of it. It's really just something you have to be mindful of, and or you're coming out of that, right? You're coming out of being so emotionally attached to a situation you didn't realize how it was affecting you in all fronts, right? Sometimes that happens too, right? Like sometimes you have a whole glow up when you leave a person financially, you start attracting the right people in. There's a lot coming through, okay? So this waxing crescent moon, those are the things coming in for you. Oh, look, I said it's coming in for you. Next card out is the first quarter moon. Yep, this is definitely coming in for you, and it's going to be here sooner than you think, okay? Some of you are going to you're going to see a financial windfall sooner than you think. Many of you are going to actually start to see that you actually have a choice in the matter of who you get to be romantically involved with. And I'm not saying you just settled, but for somebody in particular, they never took the lead in relationships. And I got Aries next, right? So Aries is about intellect and taking the lead. So the thing that also is falling off, right, with the solar eclipse, right? So the moon is about emotions and things being hidden, and then solar is about things being illuminated, right? And so you used to hide your emotions and relationships, right? But you would overthink, right? Emotional thinking. Um, and then you used to kind of like, not trust, right? When something's being hidden, usually we don't trust it. But that's also an intuitive nature, right? Like, so intuitively, even though you're having all those emotions, right? Your thinking was sometimes trying to nudge you to, to move the head out the way, get out of that scenario, right? But it also highlights that you've always thought you deserved better, okay? Now you get the opportunity to take the lead in all of that, right? I Once upon a time, my ex-husband in college when we first met told me it's AOB. And I was like, what does that mean? He was like, it's all in the bitch. And I was like, what? He was basically saying like, look, I only get away with what you let me get away with, right? Like this relationship is really dictated by you, right? What you want. Like I'm here for you. And I thought that was interesting to kind of tell me that like 3 months into just kind of like our interactions, like, yo, I'm willing to serve you, right? That's something that gets highlighted for you because it tells you whether or not you're doing it, right? Are you doing that thing? Um, are you actually talking to the type of men who reciprocate the energy that you have? Are you thinking about the things that you're actually interested in, right? And making sure that you're dating people who match those qualifications. It happens, right? Are you actually thinking about what you're dating, right? Like, are you, hey, taking the lead? Because it's 2021. Not every dude is going to walk up to you and say, hey, you want to go on this date? Sometimes you have to make the first move, okay? Aries is definitely affiliated with war, okay? That ruled by Mars, right? Mars's strategy, uh, warlike nature, also the emperor, the magician, right? So this is somebody like you can boss the fuck up if you want to, honey, right? Also, by being the magician, it's like you can literally turn shit into sugar, and maybe that was a problem back then, right? You were romanticizing a connection that just wasn't there, and or as strong as you would have liked it to be, right? And that was kind of affecting you, right? So I'm getting the impression that you're somebody like relationships kind of throw you off balance a little bit, and you need a partnership that's going to keep you balanced, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Just be careful what you ask for, because whatever you ask for, it's coming in, okay? It definitely is coming in. Now, can you handle it is the bigger question. Virgo. Ooh, talk about can you handle it, right? So Virgos are like the builder, right? Reproduction, lineage. Not like in the sense of cancer in lineage, but I'm meaning like what is the healthy habit, the healthy thing you're trying to produce, right? This is also affiliated with habits, right? Did you have a habit of just running into relationships, be like, I'm here, I like you? I was guilty of that once upon a time, so I can relate to that, and I've seen many an individual, male, female, teen, across different lifespans, do that as well, right? And so it's kind of like this default thing where it's like, okay, you're not gonna do that no more, right? So now you're considering like, what's a healthy habit? Like, what? How can I be healthy about this, right? So this also tells me about healthy self-esteem and development, healthy boundaries, putting you first. I love this for you because it's like you recognize like you want a boss, so you get to boss the fuck up yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I love it for you. Okay, so that's kind of where we are with this reading on that front. I thought something else crazy was going to fly out because I never know. Like to believe that when I open this stuff up that I know what's going to happen, but I don't. Look at the bottom of the deck is Pluto transformation. Phenomenal transformation is getting ready to occur. Okay, this is a level up. Okay, so it's like the tower moment is coming. Okay, like. We about to be in a whole new, well, you're already there, right? But sometimes what happens when you're transitioning is like, things get cleaned up. So maybe in this week you've noticed you've had new behaviors, right? And these new behaviors are healthy behaviors. It's like they're trying to put you in, when I say they, it could be your spirit guides, your ancestors, your common sense, whatever you put in place of like, whatever guides you. They're trying to get your attention, right? In order for you to transform, you got to be in the spaces and places where people can take notice of that transformation, but that you work hard to keep that transformation in place, okay? Because the tower moment is not always a negative thing. Why am I saying tower? Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpio is affiliated with the tower in the major arcana, just as Virgo with the Hierophant. I don't think that's right. Well, it could be, right? Because that's like the Hermit, right? Some people will say it's Taurus. It really just depends on who you are, right? But nonetheless, right? Virgo, the Virgin, right? Oh, you could be a virgin too, right? So uh, you have that celibacy energy. Um, I love that for you, right? It's like there's something just so sweet, innocent, kind, and considerate about you. I love it. So let's go ahead and pull the selfies for confirmation. I don't know where that deck of cards is. It was here and now it's gone. Where is it? Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, you can't stay in the same position forever. Uh, Growth occurs from the ground up. Okay, so as I stated, the way you used to approach relationships and finances, gone are those days. It's like you're growing up, right? And it's like you had to grow up. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody comes to that point in their life where they're like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? This isn't serving me, and getting to that point where you're like, yeah, I want to do things that serve me. I want to be around people that serve me. Now, I'm not talking about manipulating people, using people, but in good relationships, there is reciprocity, right? In healthy relationships, there is some serving that occurs, right? Like a person looks out for you, they mention your name in rooms where opportunities exist and you can mention theirs. They elevate you, you elevate them. It's always a give and take. It's healthy. When there's a disagreement, there's a conversation, and then, that's it, but it's also like, and it's like a bond that can't be broken, right? So for some of you too, I'm getting that like for the first time in a long time, you have like real friends, right? Like true friendship, right? Where they can be their honest, comfortable self with you, and you are allowed to do the same thing with them, right? And I say allowed, I don't know why I'm saying allowed. Allowed is meaningful though, because maybe that was a thing that like just didn't exist, right? Like people, I don't know your life, okay, but maybe you gave more than you got at some point. I mean, as we've indicated several times, but when we're talking about like friendship wise, perhaps there was a time where people would cut you off. People just wouldn't. They didn't demonstrate the same level of interest, right? So it was like it's allowable, right? You were allowing people to kind of eat up your energy in hopes that they would give something back to you, and then now you're like, not doing that no more, Um, but in many cases, here's something I've learned over the years. When people open up to you and they just give you information, leverage the information, They don't want to hear what you have to say, but they've told you a whole lot. There's a reason for that. Okay. Eggs in one basket. Unscramble your options. Okay. So again, I'm getting the same message. You used to give too much to people, right? You just put them all in. You just pour it all into people. Silky, be quiet, sir. Shh. Okay. Um, so I'm getting it like, you used to rush in. You just be like, I'm here, I'm for you. And it's like, whoa, let me back up. Let me look at my options. I got options, okay? Like, you have options. If you didn't know, let me tell you one more time. You got options. You have options. You don't have to be an option, but you do have options. Okay, so I put that with the waxing crescent moon. That's what's coming in. Options. Like, there is so much you can choose from. You got so many new possibilities. It's mind blowing. Like, never in a million years did you think that was going to be you. And look, it's you. It's you now. Ooh, it's you now. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I'm going to, because I feel like it's like 50 something freaking cards in this deck. Oh shit, one card flew out. Okay. It's okay to be lit when surrounded by the darkness. Your light is a natural gift. Okay, so that's the first quarter. That's Aries leadership, and that's Virgo. Okay, you're a very intelligent person, right? Whatever's coming in, it might be in the healthcare field. It might actually be your health, taking care of your health. That's so crazy how this all just comes full circle, right? You must always seek balance. And for me, whenever I'm compelled, not even compelled, because I don't have those type of ritualistic traits, so I'm not ever compelled. But when I know that I have time and I choose to do these, it's interesting that, like, I always want there to be balance on both sides, right? Like, just as much as we can tell the story from, let me put it this way: there's post-traumatic stress, and then there's post-traumatic growth, right? And I like for the story to have balance so that we can see, like, well, what's at the center of it, right? So at the center of it is, so like on one side of this story, it was, when it came to love and finances, it was some challenges there, right? Some emotional blockages that were preventing, like, you from really shining, like, and being your glorified self, right? Wearing the crown successfully. So it was like you had to really learn who the fuck you are, right? And like what you deserve. And then on the other side of this, right, with the card actually being it's okay to be lit when surrounded by the darkness, your light is a natural gift. It's like over on this side, it's like, you put some you're just more healthy about like how you're going to approach these relationships, right? You're going to take the lead. And as these things are coming in, you're starting to realize, like, there are options. There were always options. But sometimes our emotional state prevents us from seeing those options for whatever reasons. So I don't know if it was who you were dating, because, like, again, there was finance, there was people, maybe there was like a crowd that you ran with that wasn't the crowd for you. And it takes time to learn these things. That is not something that is unfamiliar for too many people. We all go through this at different levels, different frequencies, different ages, okay? So wherever you are, whoever you are, I don't know your life, but I felt like I got 3 specific messages that came through. And at the end of it all, right, when we're on the other side of the rainbow, what it basically tells me is, like, you're stepping into this new you, this new skin, this new reality. But you're required to be the leader, like, you're required to take the lead. Like, you have responsibilities now, you're responsible for your emotional health, but you're also responsible for your financial stability, and you're responsible for the people you let in and out of your life. And beforehand, you didn't, that was a hard lesson to learn. Okay. But in addition to that, when you do those things, it keeps you in a space and a place where you can have the level of peace that is required, because your health is attached to this, right? And what you can produce comes out of that new energy and that new reality. And sometimes it will feel lonely, because the Virgo is affiliated with the Hermit, right? And this is that final confirmation card, right? It will feel lonely. It will feel like, you saw your way out before others did, but it doesn't mean that, like, you're actually lonely. It just means your light is activated. If you don't know anything about that, I don't know, compelled to tell you. Light code activations, right? It's a DNA light code activation, right? Your light has been activated. lights get activated at different points, right? But it's also, going back to the what's the little song? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That's what's happening right now, okay? You were afraid back then to speak up, to be seen, to show like who you were, even though you had a bunch of signs way back when money was coming to you, right? Like you could attract money, but it's like certain people have to, you have to stay away from certain people, okay? You know that now, and I am so proud of you for that. So remember, not every therapist is a healer, not every healer is a clinician, and not every clinician will minister to your soul. You can book your session at tactfuldisruption.com.